Hello, Bloomington. I'm Mayor Tim Busse, and this is the Council Minute for the week of October 17th. On Monday night, the City Council had our second discussion regarding city financial support of Artistry. As I'm sure you know, Artistry is an arts organization serving Bloomington and the region. Artistry is also an important partner with the city in the areas of performing arts, visual arts, arts education, and creative placemaking. Artistry provides the box office services for all of the resident arts organizations that use the Bloomington Center for the Arts, schedules most of the stage productions in the Schneider Theater, curates the Greenberg and Atrium galleries, and provides arts education programming at the Center for the Arts, in the community, and in schools around the Twin Cities. Like many arts organizations, Artistry struggled coming out of COVID. Artistry's revenues have historically been generated from theater production ticket sales. Typically, around 60% of revenues are tied to Schneider Theater productions. No shows were staged during the pandemic in 2020 and 2021, and the 2021-22 season was cut short. When shows did run, attendance was only 40% of house, and revenues from ticket sales brought in only about 30% of the projected budget. The financial impacts of the pandemic were significant, and, as the Artistry chair told us last month, poor management and board oversight made a bad situation worse. As a result, Artistry is facing a significant operating shortfall and has exhausted its reserves to absorb losses. Artistry has asked the city to assist in their recovery plan. At our September 19th meeting, the City Council approved a $150,000 grant for Artistry. As a condition of the grant, Artistry was asked to present a report to the City Council outlining the actions taken to date and outlining their business plan for the coming year. On Monday night, representatives from Artistry presented that report to the Council and requested from the City a $750,000 repayable loan that Artistry believes is necessary to position the organization to become a sustainable arts partner once again. The Council heard on Monday that since our first discussion, Artistry decreased their staffing from 15 to 11 staff members, hosted a successful fundraiser that generated $40,000, created an audit committee of the board and hired an audit firm, and started their fall art classes. They're also moving forward with a holiday stage production and created an initial outline for development. I think the Council found that information helpful, as well as the outline of next steps that include program evaluation, the creation of a formal development plan, and a commitment to engage in an organization-wide strategic planning process. But if you listen to the long discussion we had, you know the Council still has many questions. So we agreed to continue the discussion on Monday, October 24th. We asked staff to frame up a basic ledger of pros and cons. What would happen if we say yes to this request? What happens if we say no? We asked if there were other options to consider, and what the Bloomington Center for the Arts would look like without Artistry, specifically related to issues like management of the box office and space usage. We asked about general fairness and equity issues as they relate to our other great fine arts organizations, and we acknowledged the necessity to hear public input on this difficult issue, which is why we will have an opportunity for public comment at the October 24th meeting. This is a challenging issue. Your City Council is working hard to ensure that we make the best decision for the community. As always, your input is appreciated. Last week, representatives of the Bureau of International Expositions, also known as the BIE, visited Minnesota on an inquiry mission. The BIE is the organization that determines where World Expos will be, and they were in town to learn more about the United States' efforts to host an expo in 2027 under the theme of Healthy People, Healthy Planet, Wellness and Well-Being for All. A quick review. I hope you've heard or read that Bloomington has been identified as the host community in Minnesota if the United States is successful in getting Expo 2027. This would be a specialized expo, a smaller and shorter type of expo focused on the theme of wellness and well-being for all. Given Minnesota's world-leading med tech industries, health science education, and medical leadership such as the Mayo Clinic, this state is the perfect place to showcase the future for healthy people and a healthy planet. The potential expo site is in the South Loop here in Bloomington, and it's a split site, just to the east of the Mall of America, and also the old Thunderbird Hotel site. Expo 2027 would be a 3-month event, mid-May through mid-August because, heaven forbid, should we get in the way of the state fair. And it's expected to draw about 14 million visits. Obviously, an event of this size and scope will take a lot of coordination and planning, both locally and regionally. This effort is being led by a group named Minnesota USA Expo, an organization independent of the city of Bloomington with its own board of directors, its own fundraising apparatus, and its own leadership. As the potential host city, Bloomington is certainly an important partner, which is why I and City Manager Jamie Verbrugge and Bloomington and Convention and Visitors Bureau President and CEO Bonnie Carlson, we are all on the board of directors. So, back to the visit by the BIE. The BIE visit was basically an opportunity for them to kick the tires, to see if Bloomington and Minnesota are capable of hosting an expo. I think we showed very clearly that with a great site, with infrastructure already in place like the airport and the Blue Line LRT, and strong community support, Bloomington is very much expo ready. The BIE also heard presentations and asked some very good questions regarding attendance projections, sponsorship models, and finances. They were here to thoroughly evaluate the Minnesota bid, and they did just that. I heard one person describe the evaluation as a pass-fail kind of assessment. We didn't get a letter grade, but I am confident that Minnesota's bid passed this test. Here in Minnesota, the group met with Governor Tim Walz and Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan, Senators Amy Klobuchar and Tina Smith, Representative Dean Phillips, as well as Minnesota Expo Chairman Bob Clark and CEO John Stanek. The group then went to Washington, D.C., where they met with Secretary of State Antony Blinken, U.S. Surgeon General Dr. Vivek Murthy, and National Security Advisor and Minnesota native Jake Sullivan. With the number of visitors expected from across the United States and across the globe, the event itself will be fantastic for the Bloomington hospitality industry. From a regional standpoint, I think it would go a long way toward helping the Twin Cities change the current narrative and would give the region a positive and uplifting task to rally around. But as I've said all along, here in Bloomington, we're looking at this as a long-range economic development effort. I think everyone agrees that the primary proposed site, just to the east of the Mall of America, is a prime site for development. But it's been a parking lot for 30 years. It's used for bus driver training and snowplow rodeos. Folks, that's not the highest and best use of that land. Thoughtfully and effectively and sustainably developing that site, along with the northern site where the Thunderbird used to be, could be transformative, not only for Bloomington, but for the entire Twin Cities and ultimately Minnesota. That's why this effort has received such strong bipartisan support from the last 3 presidential administrations, and support from every member of the Minnesota congressional delegation. We still have a ways to go on this project. The final decision won't be made until next June, so there's still a lot of work to do. And I know there are a lot of questions and frankly some misunderstandings about this effort. So I've asked staff to put a full update on an upcoming council agenda, likely in mid-November. Stay tuned. That will do it for this week's Council Minute. Thank you so very much for tuning in. Until next time, stay safe, Bloomington.